Ayan. Okay. So, our topic for today is all about random variables. Okay. I know that, do you have your research na ba? Diba you have your research already? Yeah, you have your research already because you're ABM, diba?
Opo.
Okay. So, in your research, and even in your mathematics, you know what is a variable, diba? What is variable? So, yung variable, sige, ano yung variable? Anyone from the class? Based on what you have learned in your research, or based on what you have read, or based on your understanding. Ezra, yes.
Sir, variable is a measurable characteristic po.
Okay. So very good. That's what that is one what's this? One idea when we think of a variable. That's correct. What else? Meron pa ba? Ay, wait lang. Vinegar. Serene.
A variable po can be a person, a place, a thing, or a phenomenon po, or anything po na kailangan pong i-measure.
Okay, very good. So that's correct also, Serene. So yes, Frances, do you have something to say? Ay, wala? Wala ba? Okay. Okay. So that's also correct. Sabi yung sinabi ni Serene. Okay. So a variable can be a concept or could be anything or ano ba? Anyone that or any event that can be um, measured or can have a value. Okay? Especially in statistics and probability, we will be considering values that, variables that can be represented by values. And specifically, those values are in the form of numbers. Okay? So that's the focus of our statistics and probability. That's why also that we are going to discuss today random variables. Okay, so earlier I've let you describe or let's say define what is a variable. Now, when we say random, what is your own understanding when you say random? What comes out of your mind when you hear the word random? Anyone? Yes,
Not
Marga.
Not specific po.
Marga, you're choppy. Can you state it again? Marga, hello. Chinat niya na lang ata. Okay, very good. It could be hindi specific. Sige, other answers. Actually, that's one good description. Sige, ayan, may nagtaas. Sige, yes, Leia.
Random po, sir. Ibig sabihin po, choosing without method po, sir.
Okay. Sige, that could be. Pag sinabi natin without method, it could be something that is not actually, tawag dito, we have the value pero hindi natin siya sinadya kasi we don't have any methods, di ba? So, yun. Yun yung gustong sabihin ni Leia. Marga noted. Okay. Sige, Serene. Do you have idea when we say random?
Undefined po.
Okay. It could be also undefined. Kasi random nga, di ba? Okay. So, yes, Sophia. Sige. Yes.
Sir, wala pong any pattern po.
Okay,
Or there's no pattern po.
Okay, very good. So wala tayong consistent pattern. Wala tayong recurrent evidences siguro para mangyari isang bagay. So tama 'yon. When we say random, it's anything that ano ba? It's anything that it happens, it just happens. Diba? Kaya nga random. Kasi we don't just get data because we choose it. Because it just appear, 'di ba? Parang ganon yung random. We choose from a set of, let's say, people that is not biased. We just pick um without judgment, without anything, without any criterion. That's random, 'di ba? Ayan. So now, what is a random variable? So as defined here in our presentation, a random variable is a variable whose possible values are determined by chance. Diba? Tama yon kasi ang random is anything that happens by chance. Ano nga ba pag sinabi natin by chance? Hindi natin sinadya. It's parang we don't really intend to have that, 'di ba? Ano pa ba? We don't it's unpredictable, 'di ba? Remember that the word chamba came from the English word by chance. Tama? Meaning, pag sinabi natin chamba, uy, naka 100 ako, ay, hindi, ano ba? Kunwari, nakadampot ako ng 10 pesos sa kalsada. Di ba? Nakachamba ako ng 10 pesos. When we say chamba, hindi naman natin sasadyain na makakita tayo ng 10 pesos sa kalsada unless na tayo naghulog nun. Or we get a friend na maghahulog ng 10 sa kalsada tapos kukunin mo. Hindi naman ganun, di ba? So, nakita mo lang siya at a random event. So that is what we call by chance. So any variable, anything, anyone, any event that can have a value that is happened or determined by chance is a random variable. It could be the birthday of your classmate. It could be the age of your classmate with respect to the months. It could be the weight of your classmate. It could be the number of siblings of your classmate. Hindi natin yun sinadya. Gusto niyo bang sadyain yung number ng siblings ng classmates ninyo? Kunwari, Kunwari, classmate ko, mag-random people ako dito sa, kunwari, sino ba? Kunwari, si Karil. Sabi ko, dapat yung kapatid ni Karil, 7 lang. Ganun. 7 lang. Dapat ganun. Di ba? Hindi naman natin sinasadya yung number of the sibling. Kundi, it happens by chance. Hindi natin siya sinadya. And in statistics, random variable is very important. Kasi, ba't nga ba natin pag-aaralan yung mga variable kung sila ay sinadya? Para saan pa ang research? Para saan pa yung probability or statistics or inferential statistics kung alam din naman natin yung mangyayari. So usually, yung pinag-aaralan natin, yung nire-research natin, is yung mga bagay na hindi natin alam. Kaya, those variables that we use in our researches, in our studies, are all random variables. Okay? Ayun. Ayun. Random variable. Ay, anyari. What happened? Okay na. Okay. Random variables can either be discrete or continuous. Ayan, class ha. Remember of the word continuous ha, ang spelling. It's from the word continue plus OUS. But since the last letter ends with E, and usually when the word ends with E, ends with silent E rather, is added by a suffix, it is usually removed, especially when it's OUS. So it's continuous. It's not continuous. Continuous pala. Continuous. Continuous. Yan. Okay. So as I've said a while ago, a random variable can be can be categorized or can be discrete or continuous. So let's first have the discrete random variable. So a discrete random variable can only take a finite, or let's say when we say finite, it's countable, nabibilang. It could be infinite, ano yun? Countably infinite. When we say countably infinite, we are counting up to infinity. It's still countable. It's that it's way too long to count. Ganon. So, a discrete random variable can only take finite number of distinct values. Okay. Sige. When we say countable, sige, usually yung mga variables daw dito ay countable. Sige nga, magbigay kayo ng mga variable, magbigay kayo ng mga event or anything na countable. Sige nga. Anyone from the class? Sige, Frances.
Number of people in one section po.
Okay,
Like,
or-
kunwari po, sa section ng Edison, may 17 na ano po, students.
Very good. That's correct. Number of students per section. What else? Lorraine.
Number of days in a year po, sir.
Number of days in a year. Siguro, Lorraine, much specific. Siguro, number of days that rains in a year. Mga ganon. Kasi kung number of days in a year, we predict na 365 or 366. Pero if we go beyond specific, yun siya. Okay? Anyway, that's correct. So, number of rainy days or sunny days or number of summer days in a year. Okay? So, tama yun. What else? What else? Ano pa? Sino ba to? Sige, Ana.
Number of houses in Barangay Tinigipan.
Very good. Number of household in Barangay Tinigiban. What else? Sige, Princess.
Number of newborn puppies.
Okay, tama. Number of newborn babies. Or in a day. Kailangan specific tayo, class, ha? What else? May nagtaas kanina, si Karil.
Number of students in 11 Edison po.
Nabigay na kanina, pero pwede yon. Okay? So, yon. Sige. So, those are countable. Ngayon, those are countable, sorry. Those are discrete random variables. And as I've said earlier, and as defined, discrete random variable are countable. Ngayon, class, if I'm going to ask you, saang number ba tayo nagsa-start pagbilang?
1 po.
1. Pero technically sa 0, di ba? So 0, 1, 2, 3, and so on, right? Ngayon, class, tanungin ko kayo, paano kayo magbilang? Sige nga. As an ABM student, you know how to count money, di ba? So paano kayo magbilang? Sige, magtawag ako. Sige, Daryl. Paano ka magbilang, Daryl?
Ano sir? Kung pera sir, ano sir? Pinapagsama ko po yung ano ba, 5 sa 5, ganun sir. Sunod-sunod para mas madali po.
Okay, what
Ano ba,
if...
sa isang...
Sige,
Okay,
proceed.
sir.
Proceed, sige lang.
Okay na po.
Okay. Sige, what if, Daryl, pagsama-sama mo na lahat ng same denomination? Like 5 pesos, 10 pesos, 20 peso bill. What if nagsama-sama na sila? Ano nang ginagawa mo pag magka-count ka na?
Dapat po sa isang bill sir, alam ba, sa isang bill sir may 10 piraso. So, parang ano sila sir, constant yun sir, na kada isang bill sir, dapat meron pong 10.
Kaya nga, paano mo nalaman na 10 yung i-compile mo kunwari? So, paano ka magbilang?
Halimbawa sir, pag 5 sir, So, magiging 10. Ay, 5. So, 50 yung sa 5, sir. Yung sumunod naman, halimbawa, sir, 10. So, i-count. Ay, kumbaga, sir, ginamultiply ko po. Tapos, add. Para mas madali.
Gano'n. Paano mo nga siya nabilang? Sige, disregard natin yung pera. What if ang binibilang mo is, ano ba? Apples.
Ano, sir? Di, ano, sir? 1, 2, 3, gano'n.
Ganon. Edi 1 by 1. Di ba? Kung magbibilang tayo 1 by 1.
Ay, sir, 1 by 1. Ayun
Di ba
ba,
1
sir?
by
Dito.
1? Pwede naman 2 by 2. Pero 1 by 1, di ba? So, pag wala ka pa nabilang, sige, thank you, Daryl. Di ba? So, from 0, wala pa tayo nabilang. Pag may nabilang tayong isa, that would start the counting. But then again, as I said earlier, technically 0 would be also a counting number because we start at we start at 0. Pero though 0 is not a counting number kasi nga it is an empty set or an empty number, 'di ba? So, yun nga, pag 0 wala ka pa nabilang, magkakaroon ng 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 and so on. Ngayon class, when you count, anong mapapansin nyo sa mga numbers na meron tayo pag nagbibilang tayo? What do they have in common? Yes, Sophia.
Sir, hindi po sila negative.
Very good. Hindi sila negative. Kasi ang kino-consider lang ng random variable, lahat ng random variable class is what? Negative. Non-negative. So including 0, so non-negative numbers and whole numbers. Ibig sabihin buo. Pag nagbilang tayo 1, 2, 3, 4, di ba 1 by 1? Hindi naman tayo nagbibilang kunwari ng 1, 1/2, 3/4, 1/6, 2, di ba? 7/9. Hindi naman tayo ganun magbilang, right? So when we have a discrete random variable, we count exact values of variable. And remember that the values of a discrete random variable is represented by a non-negative whole number. So, ang number of siblings sa isang family, ang number of siblings nyo ay hindi 1 and 1/2, kundi 1, 2, 3, 4, or so on. Basta hindi siya negative at whole number siya. Okay? Even yung, ano pa ba? Number yung classmate nyo, wala naman kayong 1/2 na classmate, right? So, ang population ng Edison is 17 students, hindi 16.5 students, hindi 15 and 3/4 students, because the number of students are countable and they are considered as a discrete random variable. Nakuha ako?
Yes po, sir.
Okay. Ngayon, class, go to the class code. Ayan, may nag-enroll na. Very good. Alam na yung gagawin. Okay, enroll kayo doon sa enroll. Punta kayo sa classpoint.app. Enter our code 38079 and we will have a short activity. Ayan. I want 16. May mga lag kasi. So, sige. Pero noted to as recitation. I'll be giving you 2 minutes to join our our class code. Dapat pala pinapasok ko na kayo agad-agaran kanina. Anyway, class, hindi ba ako parang windy? Parang ang airy-airy ng microphone ko. Hindi rin ba? Kasi parang nakatutok ata ako sa fan. Hindi rin, Sophia?
Wala po, sir.
Wala.
Hindi po.
Sige. At then, pasok na kayo kasi 11 na. Wait lang ha. Wala ko water. Light ng water ko. Baka ako ngayon maingay. Certain lang yung student ko. How about the others? O game na tayo ha. Game. Ay, cancel. Joke lang. Okay. Ayan. Sige. For the first activity, I want you to anyari? Ito. Ayan. I want you to wait lang, anyari? Wait lang ha. Ayan. In our activity, first activity, I want you to give an example of a discrete random variable. Okay? So, any example of a discrete random variable. Keep in mind that a discrete random variable can only take a finite or a countable number of distinct values. So, be specific when you have your examples. Ayan. And after most of you are done, we will be checking each of our example if they are correct. Okay? Sige. You may now answer. And we are collecting responses. Ayan, may nag-respond na. Isa. Ayan.
Sir, paano po maglagay ng sagot?
Ha? Meron diyang may i-click ka doon. Ay, sino yun? Wait lang. Hindi ko makita eh. Meron doong i-click.
Si Lorraine po, sir.
Hindi kayo makaklik.
Wala po ako makita, sir.
Ganon. Wait lang ha. Paano to? Ba't wala?
Sir, yung example po ba na ibibigay is real life situation po or numbers?
Real life situation. Sino hindi makabigay ng example? Yung hindi makabigay ng example, Lorraine, ikaw ba? I-chat nyo na lang.
Opo, sir. PM ko na lang po, sir.
Hindi, kahit dito na lang sa chat ng Zoom natin.
Sige po, sir.
Naka-present ba? Ay, di pala ako naka-present. Ayan. Ayan. So, meron ditong 10 na nag-submit out of 14 na present. Actually, ilan na to? 11. Sige, last 30 seconds. Okay, I guess we need to close submission na. Ayan. So, according to Lorraine, unahin ko yung hindi niya nakikita. Ang kanya is number of ano. Noted yung mga nag-chat. Okay. Number of potato chips in a bag. Okay, that can be kasi minsan actually may number of grams eh. Pero kasi depende sa laki ng potato chips, 'di ba? So, 'yun. Okay. So, ayun. So, pages of a book, that can be kasi when we get a book randomly in the library, 'yun. Iba-iba na number of pages of book. Number of 6 students in Cityside during the month of November. That's correct. Very specific. Number of newborn baby boy in a day. Newborn baby boys in a day. Okay, that can be. Very good. Page of a notebook, similar lang. Actually, yung page of a notebook, it's very specific. Kasi 'di ba? When we bought notebook, just like what I have here in my front, I have lab book here. Sabi niya 300 pages. So specific. So hindi ko siya i-consider fem. Ayan. Outcome of a toss coin. It can be very good. Kasi nga pwede anong klase? Kasi head or tails, 'di ba? Weight of a student in grade 11 Edison. Sige, Princess Ira, if I would ask you, pwede bang bilangin yung weight?
Hindi po, sir.
Hindi, di ba? So, hindi siya kasama. Okay. How about number of keys in a keyboard? Number of pages in a book and number of tiles in a house. So, hindi ako certain dun sa number of keys in a keyboard kasi 'di ba Frances, may mga keyboard, yung keys nila talagang may number. I mean, talagang kung ilan lang sila, 'di ba? Depende sa size. So, hindi siya pwede consider. Pero yung mga yung third and second example, yan, pasok yan siya. Okay, ay di ko na kayo heart, ha? Ayan, number of students randomly selected by a researcher for a survey. Pwede rin. Okay, the number of eggs that a hen lays in one day. Pwede. Number of black dogs in our house. Kung in your house lang, hindi siya pwede. Kailangan maraming houses. So, baka number of black dogs in each houses in Barangay Tinigiban, that could be. Okay? The number of local eateries in Barangay Tinigiban that are open during Sundays. Okay, this is correct. Pwede. Shoe size of grade 11 Edison. Sige, tanongin ko si Miss Bautista. Si Abigail. Abigail, ang shoe size ba nabibilang?
Hindi po pala, sir.
Hindi. So, it's not discrete. Kapag ang isang variable class is not countable, therefore, it's not discrete random variable. Ibig sabihin, kung hindi siya discrete random variable, siya ay, continuous random variable. Yung other half ng isang random variable. So, a continuous random variable can assume an infinite number of values in an interval between two specific values. So, anong pinagsasabi niya? 'Di ba? When we say two infinite number or an infinite number in two specific values, imagine 0 and 1. In between 0 and 1, may 0 and 1 half. In between 0 and 1 half, marami pang numbers dyan like 0.1, 0.001, 0.0000, and so on, 1, 'di ba? So, 1 pa lang yun, marami na. How about 2? How about 3? How about 10? How about 15? So, there is an infinity between 0 and 1 half. And there is other infinity in 1 half, between 1 half and 1. And there are larger infinity between 0 and 1, aside from the infinity of the counting numbers itself. So, yung mga smaller infinities na yun, class, yung kinoconsider ni continuous random variable. So, basically, ang kinoconsider ni ni continuous random variable is yung may mga decimals and yung may mga fraction. Ngayon, class, kung tatanungin ko kayo, bakit kayo sa tingin nyo may decimals or may fraction? Ano yung nire-represent kaya nila? Anyone from the class? Bakit tayo may decimal? Saan ba tayo nakakakita ng decimal? O sa pera, ba't may decimal? Saan pa ba? Sa mga binibili
Sir?
natin. Ah, yes, Sofia.
Para ma-measure po.
Para
Ma-measure po.
pag may decimal, may... So, sige, paano? Sige, in what way? Para ma-measure? Sige, expound mo, Sofia, yung sinasabi mo. Kasi you got the point na.
Parang example po sir sa timbang po ng mga students. Pwede po kasing iba po yung maging result pa pwede pong ma-measure sa weighting scale.
Okay.
So kung example po 60.5 kilograms, so decimal po siya.
Okay, sige. Thank you, Sophia. You have the idea. For that's correct. Sige, Abigail, you're raising your hand. Bakit tayo may decimal point?
Sir, kasi po, may iba po, sir, na hindi po siya whole number. Kaya
Oo.
kailangan po ng parang butal-butal.
Sige, sige. Speaking of whole number and butal-butal, bakit tayo nagkakaroon ng butal? Bakit tayo nagkakaroon ng hindi whole number na value? Kasi, actually, sabi na ni Sophia. Hindi na, ang question na to is hindi na naka-address kay Abigail lang or kay Sophia ha. This is general. Bakit sa tingin nyo, class, nagkakaroon tayo ng butal? Bakit may 1/2? Bakit may 0.5? Bakit may 65.5? Sabi ni Sophia doon sa timbang ng classmate niya. Sige, Lorraine.
Sir, para mas specific po.
Very good. Kasi para mas specific, yung kinoconsider natin kay continuous random variable is, ayan. Yung continuous, sige, balik na tayo dito sa second bullet ha. This means that they can assume values that can be represented not only by a non-negative whole number, but also by fractions and decimals that are positive. And these values are often resolved by measurement. Tama yung sinabi ni Sofia kanina. May measurement na tayo, class. Kaya, pag meron tayong measurement, yung mga values natin is more specific. Nandun na siya sa definition of more specific. Kaya tayo nagkakaroon ng butal. Di ba? Dapat exact. That is actually what I am waiting for to you to say. Kasi sir, exact po yung mga values dahil meron tayong measurement. So, if a variable or the value of the given variable is obtained by measuring or by measurement, it is a continuous random variable. So if we are going to contrast the two random variables that we have, the discrete random variable or variables that has a value that is countable and a continuous random variable that has a value of variables that are obtained by measurement or by or result of measurements. Okay? So usually lahat ng units of measurements are continuous random variable. So, aside from the weight, I want you to give examples of continuous random variable in our class point. So, I'll be giving you 3 minutes to give example of a Continuous random variable. Ayan. So may mga na bibigyan na ng answers nila. While waiting for your answers, punta muna akong CR. Naihiya muna ako. Saglit lang ha. Excuse lang ha. Ayan. Ay, 4 minutes na. Okay, let's close the submission. Okay, let's check. Okay, dito tayo sa most recent. Okay. So height of a student, that can be, very good. Volume or sizes. So kung specific tayo, kunwari, volume of tumblers of grade 12 teachers in CitySci, or sizes of shoe sizes of teachers, di ba? The length of time it takes, very good. Time. Sabi ni, ano dito sa chat ni Lorraine, temperature, that's correct. Or the temperature of, let's say, tawag dito, of the climate in Puerto Princesa at the daily basis. Shoe sizes, correct. Amount of coffee in a glass, siguro in Daily, ano to, consumption. Pwede. Body temperature, very good. Waistline of grade 11 Edison. Okay, that's correct. Heights of the sunflower in the front yard, or sana all my front yard. Okay. Profits of the cafe in Tinigiban and percentages of how many people are infected. Feeling ko ito siya, Francis, countable siya. Kasi we don't need ano to, measurement with this. So, I think ano to, discrete. Ayan. So,
Sige po. Noted
oo.
po. Thank you.
Okay. Basta may measurement, may unit. So, kunwari, though may unit naman yung pera, pesos, pero countable kasi siya eh. Though, o nga no, so may decimal no. Oh, parang naano ako doon. Medyo o nga no. Kung may decimal na siya, more probably, this is continuous. Ambiguous kasi kapag pera na yung dating eh. Sige, consider natin siya as continuous kasi ang definition is when it takes decimals, continuous na siya. Ayan. So, ayan. Safe si Frances. Okay. Next is weight of a student. Yeah, it can be the date and time a delivery was received. Siguro ano to dito, Leia, yung specific like how long does it take a package was delivered or was received by the buyer, ganon. Ayan. So, length of a film, ayan, that's correct. So, sige, okay, very good. So far, you were doing great. Do you have questions regarding discrete and continuous?
Wala na po.
How about the other members of the class?
Wala na po.
Wala na, sir.
Okay, so now let's proceed to the first part of our discussion. Second part na pala to. Lesson 1 siya kasi yung part nung ginawa natin kanina is merely an introduction. And we take how long? Ng pagkatagal-tagal. Na joke lang. Hindi, kailangan mo kasi ma-determine kung ang binibigay sa inyo is discrete or continuous. Okay? So, yun. First stop, we have here a discrete probability distribution. Okay? So, what is a discrete probability distribution? So, a discrete probability distribution is a listing of all possible values of a discrete random variable along with their probabilities. Okay? The discrete probability distribution can be presented in tabular, in table, graphical. It is graph using a histogram or formula form. Okay? So, we will be creating here an illustration. Okay? So, we will be presenting a discrete probability distribution in this event. When a coin are tossed twice, the sample space is represented by H as HH, HT, TH, and TT, wherein H stands for the heads and T stands for the tail. So you all know, di ba, the coin has two sides, the heads and the tail. So sa atin dito, in our concept, Rizal or Bangko Sentral. Di ba? Yung heads, usually yun yung front part ng coin. Yung may ulo usually, kaya nga siya head. And the other part is the tail. Yun. So, we will creating the event. O kunwari, first toss mo, ang lumabas ay, dalawa lang naman yan. Heads or tails. On the second toss, syempre, first toss mo head, second toss mo naging head. First toss mo head, second toss mo pwedeng naging tail. Unang toss mo head, tail, pwedeng sunod head. Or pwedeng tail ang kasunod. So how many combinations are there? So meron tayong 4. We have the head, tail, tail, head, and tail, tail. Ngayon, class, if I'm going to ask, pareho ba si head and tail head? Are they the same? Hello? I'm just asking for yes or no.
No po.
No,
No
sige.
po, sir.
Bakit no? Sige. I know may uncertainty din pa sa pagsabi niyong no. Pero sa tingin niyo kaya bakit?
Sir, kasi mas yung sa una po, yung head po yung nauna, then sa pangalawa po yung tail.
Very good. Kasi, kino-consider natin dito yung order, di ba? Kung kasi pag toss mo kasi ng coin, tapos head yung lumabas sa unang tapon. And pag second toss, tail yung lumabas. Okay? Magkaiba yon. So, hindi natin siya ipag-merge. Magkaibang event sila. So, we have how many outcomes? Pag nagtapon tayo ng coins ng 2 beses, and we are going to take if it's heads or tails, how many events do we have? What is the sample space? Or what is the sample size?
4 po.
4. Yung tinatawag nating sample size, class, is yung number of outcomes na meron. So meron tayong 4. Head-head, head-tail, tail-head, and tail-tail. Ngayon, class, ayan, assuming that our discrete random variable is number of heads. Yan yung ating discrete random variable. So we will count the number of heads. Dun sa first combination, 2 yung head. Sa second and third combination, 1 lang yung head. And dun sa last combination, walang head. Okay? So, yan yung ating discrete random variable. Okay? Ngayon, class, pag tinanong ko kayo, what is the probability? Ay, sorry, mali. Ay, tama. Number of heads, di ba? Ayan. So, 2, 1, wala. Proceed tayo. Kung i-label natin siya, kunin natin yung number of heads. Yan yung number of heads. Tapos, 0, 1, and 2. Di ba? Yun lang naman. Tapos, number, lagyan ko sa tasa, of occurrence. When we see occurrence, ilang beses nag-appear yung walang head, yung may 1 head, at yung may 2 head. So, sa number of heads na wala, 1. Yung sa tail-tail. Tama? Walang head dyan. Second naman, sa 1, 2. Yung tail head at saka head tail. Sa ano naman, sa 2, 1 lang. Yung head lang. Yan yung number of occurrence. Ngayon, class, ilan yung ating total outcome? Ilan yung ating sample size? Again?
4 po.
4
4.
po, sir.
So, kukunin natin yung ratio ng occurrence and yung sample size. Yun yung magiging probability ng ating discrete random variable. Okay? So, ano ang probability na pag nagtapon ako ng coin ng 2 beses, walang head ang lalabas? So, the correct answer is 1 out of 4 outcomes, kaya 1/4 yung nakalagay dito. What is the probability na pag nagtapon ako ng coin ng 2 beses, at least 1 head ang lalabas? So, pag 1 head ang lalabas, 2 yon. Pwedeng mauna tail, so may 1 akong chance head yung lumabas. Or mauna yung head, tapos tail na, so 2. Okay? So, the correct answer is 2/4, 2 outcomes out of 4 total outcomes or total sample size. And then lowest term natin, that would be 1/2. And same lang din, 1 outcome or 1 occurrence out of 4 outcomes. So, pag 2 head, 1/4. Nakuha ako, class? May question?
Wala na po
Sir?
sa answer.
Yes po.
Saan po ulit sir nakuha yung for sa denominator? Hindi ko po kasi nano kanina. Mahina
Okay.
po kasi yung signal dito.
Okay. Dito sa total number of outcomes. Yan. 4 kasi yung outcomes natin. Sample size natin ay 4.
Okay po sir.
Oo.
Thank you po.
Nagbabago yan ha. Ayun kasi 1, 2, 3, 4. Usually yung number of occurrence, yan yung total number dito, 4. Ayan. Ngayon class, sige, gawin natin decimal. 0.25, 0.5, saka 0.25. Dahil probability ito, ang total ng probability na lahat mag-occur is 1 usually, di ba? Pag pinag-add natin to, 0.25, 0.5, 0.25, the answer is 1. Di ba naalala niyo yung lesson natin kahapon? I-convert natin sa percent. 25%, 50%, 25%, it is equal to 100%. Bakit? The sum of all the probabilities is equal to 1. Di ba? Pag tinanong kayo, ano ang probability niyo na babagsak kayo sa statistics and probability? Or sa GenMath na lang, ano yung probability niyo na babagsak kayo sa GenMath? 10%, sir. So, anong probability niyo na papasa kayo? 90%, sir. Di ba? So, natin nakukuha yung other half or other parts or other, ano tawag dito? Yung other, yung other percentage niya. Di ba? Mina-minus natin sa 100%. O pag sinabi, kunwari, yung buhay niya 50-50. O ano ibig sabihin nun? 50% chance na mabuhay siya, 50% chance na mamatay siya. Pag tinutal natin yung 50-50 na yon, 100%. Okay? Sa business math, lumalagpas yung percentage natin up to 100%. Pwedeng lumagpas doon. Pero sa probability, 100% yung maximum. Okay? Yan. So, by the way, class, itong table na nakikita niyo dito, class, sa slide na to, ito yung tabular method niya. Naka-table. Yan, tabular form. Ito naman, hindi ko na kayo pagagawin ito. Ito yung kanyang graphical form. Kasi you can see may ano dito, y-axis, may x-axis. Hindi ko na kayo pagagawin yun, huwag kayo mag-alala. Ayan. So, balik tayo. Para masabi natin na siya ay discrete probability distribution, the probability of each element of a random variable should be from 0 to 1 only. So, from 0% to 100% only lang. So, balikan natin kanina. Ito, 0.25 or 25%, 0.5 or 50%, 0.25 or 25%, lahat ba dyan less than 1? Lahat ba less than 1 class? Tama or not? Di ba lahat less than 1? Di ba? So, ibig sabihin, pasok siya doon sa first property. Second, the sum of all the probabilities is 1 or 100%. If we are going to add this, and this, ang total po niyan is 1 or kung ito, at ito ang pinag-add natin, ang total po niyan is 100%. So, siya ay pasok dito. Kapag yung dalawang properties na to ay nasatisfy ng isang probability distribution, siya ay discrete probability distribution. Nakuha ako, class?
Yes po, sir.
Okay.
Yes po.
O dahil dyan, apply nyo to ha. Tandaan nyo ha. Probability of each element of a random variable should be from or should be less than 100 but greater than or should be between 0 and 1. So kasama yung 1 and 0 or 0% from 0% to 100% only. And number 2, dapat yung total nila is 100%. Next. Okay, next activity tayo. Which of these or these is an or are examples of a discrete probability distribution? Ang A ba? B, C, all, none. Ano ba yung options natin? A and B, B and C, A and C. Ay, A and C. Okay. Ngayon, class, ang gagawin nyo ngayon for our activity, hahanapin nyo kung saan dito yung discrete probability distribution. And then kapag nahanap nyo na or wala kayong nakita or kung nakita nyo man lahat at rinay nyo lahat, punta kayo sa class point. Ayan. And i-type nyo yung answers ninyo kung ano. It's either A, B, C, all, none, A and B, B and C, or A and C. Pakisulat kung saan dyan yung discrete probability distribution. I'll be giving you 5 minutes to do that. Okay? Sige. Remember to use the properties, ha? We have properties. Number 1, dapat yung ating probability should be between 0 and 1 lang. Or from 0% to 100%. The second one, the total of all the probabilities are equal to 1. Sige. 5 minutes. O ano na? 6 pa lang, lagpas mo yung 5 minutes. Sige, close ko na ha. Tagal kasi. Dahil lang naman magtingin yan. Sige, wait lang. Game na. Ayan. Close submission. So, may nag-B. May nag-B. Halatang halata na. Gamitin niya yung properties class. Sige, wait lang ha. Okay. Oh, which of the following is a discrete probability distribution? Marami nag-none. Actually, the correct answer is none. Wala sa kanila. Bakit? Answer may energy sa letter A, pasok. Lahat sila less than 1. Between 0 and 1 sila. Yes, Leia, you're raising your hand.
Sir, sabi po ni Princess po, mahina raw po yung net sa kanila po.
Okay, noted. Okay lang naman. Wala namang minus pag may na-internet. Okay. Sige. Okay, sige. Ayan. So, ayan. Balik tayo. Lahat po ng probability, by the way, class, hindi ko nasabi, yung P of X na to denotes that it is a probability of the variable. Yung variable natin is yung X. Okay? Ito yung mga values ng variable. X. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Ano yung probability ng kada value? P of X. So, 1 over 10, 3 over 10, 1 over 5, 1 over 4, and 3 over 10 are all less than are all found between 0 and 1. So, lahat sila pasok sa property number 1. Di ba? Pero, once na pinag-add natin yan sila lahat-lahat, ang total ay 23 over ilan? 23 over 20. Di ba? Or 1.15. So, hindi niya na nasatisfy yung yung second property. So, A is not a discrete probability distribution. Okay? Sa letter B naman, class, may isa dyan, Ang usapan, dapat ang kada probability is in between 0 and 1 lang. Eh, may lumagpas sa 1, 6 over 5. So, it's not a probability or discrete probability distribution. Sa letter C naman, ayan. Ang sagot ay, okay naman, check lahat. Check lahat ng probability. Less than 1 silang lahat. Pero, pag pinag-add na, ang sagot ay 1.02. Or sa fraction yan, 51 over 50. Kung yan yung nasa calculator ninyo. So, hindi siya. Wala sa kanila ang discrete probability distribution. Okay? Ayan. Equity. So, none ang sagot. Very good. Okay. Dito naman, class, huwag nyo nasagutin yung B and C. Wala na yan. Yung A na lang muna. Okay. Complete the discrete probability distribution below. So, the probability that we have, the variable that we have here is let's say, the color. Favorite color ng mga student, kunwari. Ganun. Okay. The probability that a student, that you pick a student that his or her favorite color is blue is 0.06. O pag kinonvert natin into percent, 6%. Sa green, 0.23. Sa orange, 0.35. Sa red, 0.05. Ngayon, class, in some incident, lahat kasi ng mga per color kinolect ninyo. Tapos, nasama nyo, kunwari, yung yellow sa mga trashes ninyo. So, nawawalan kayo ng record kay yellow. Ngayon, knowing that meron kayong data ni blue, green, orange, and red, what do you think is the probability when you get a student that his or her favorite color is yellow? So what's the answer? Do you have any idea? Sige, I'll be giving you 1 minute.
Sir, try lang.
Sige. What's the answer?
0.31 po, sir.
0.31. Sige.
31.
Bakit ito yung sagot mo, Abigail?
Pinag-plus ko po yung probability, ay yung 0.06, 0.23, 0.35, 0.05, and minus ko po 1 minus yung answer nila.
Sige. Ba't mo siya pinag-add?
Kasi sir, pag yung discrete probability, di ba, dapat yung summation is equals to 100% or 1.
Yes. Tapos pag
So para po,
sige, proceed.
so para po mahanap yung yellow, kailangan po muna ipag-plus yung blue, green, orange, and red para mahanap po yung nawawala.
Okay. So that's correct. Very good. So very good, Abigail. Okay, tama yung sabi ni Abigail. To give emphasis, para mahanap natin yung probability ng yellow, all we have to do is to find the sum of all the other probabilities of other color. So, hanapin natin yung sum ng blue, green, orange, and red probabilities. Ngayon, the sum would be the probability na hindi yellow yung makuha natin. Tama? So, the sum ng 0.6, 0.023, 0.35, saka 0.05 is 0.69. Itong 0.69 na to is ito yung probability na hindi yellow yung makuha natin. Probability na not yellow. Therefore, if we need to subtract if we are going to subtract rather 0.69 to 1, since it is stated that in the second property na yung 1 daw is the sum of all the probabilities. So when we subtracted 1 to 0.69, or let me paraphrase that. When we subtracted 0.69, which is the probability that we will be getting not yellow, from 1, which is the sum of all the probabilities, we will be having 0.31, which is the probability of having yellow. So that's correct. O, alam niyo na, may ganyan sa sa assessment. Okay? So ganun lang siya, class. O ito. Ito yung medyo mahirap. Mabilis na lang to, class. Huwag kayong mag-alala. Matatapos tayo by 3 p.m. So we are going to create a discrete probability distribution with this spinner. Usually, class, ang gagawin nating discrete probability distribution is na
lang. Ayoko nang pagawa ng histogram, class, kasi ayun.
Kasi tawag dito, pagpapadrawingin ko pa kayo using the histogram, pwede naman gumawa sa Excel, di ba? So tabular na lang. Kasi yun naman yung ginagawa natin pag research. We have tables. Okay? So, kunwari mayroon akong spinner dito, or yung tinatawag nating ruleta sa Tagalog. Ayan. Or roulette na. Okay? So, may spinner dito. So, ano yung mga kulay ng spinner? It is stated that, sige, let's assume that this spinner is divided into 5 regions and is colored with brown, yellow, and green. So let the colors be the variable or the discrete random variable. So our X would be the color. Ayan. And of course, our P of X is the probability. So, ano yung probability, class, na brown yung makuha natin? Hello?
Sir, try lang po.
Yes. po.
350 po, sir.
Ano ulit? Sorry. Sino yun? Sorry, paulit na.
350 po, sir.
Okay, 3/5. Okay. Bakit Ana 3/5? Sige.
Kasi po, sir, yung brown po, 3. And then, yung kabuang sa circle po, yung cards, 5 po.
Okay, very good. So the probability that a brown will appear in our spinner is 3/5. Why? Kasi out of the 5 regions that we have in our circle, in our spinner, 3 of the regions are brown. So malaki yung chance na brown yung lumabas, which is 3/5. Okay? So thank you, Anna. That's correct. How about yellow? O madali na itong yellow. Yellow represents 1 region out of 5. So that would be 1/5. How about green? 1/5 then. Okay? So this is the discrete probability distribution of the given spinner. Why? Kasi lahat ng probability are all between 0 and 1. Pag pinag-add yung 3/5, 1/5, and 1/5, the answer would be 5/5 or equal to 1. Nakuha, class?
Yes, sir.
Yes po.
Okay. Hindi ko na pa gagawin tong isa. Ayan. So, ganun din yan. Same concept na nung nauna, mas maraming kulay lang. Yung ito na yung gawin natin. Ayan. Create a discrete probability distribution of the number of heads. Kunin nyo ha. Number of heads from tossing 4 coins. So, magtatapon tayo ng 4 na coin. So, first coin, magtatapon tayo. Ano yung possible outcome pag nagtapon tayo ng coin? Yung kanina, class, ano na nga yun? Tao or?
Head and tail.
Head tail po.
Diba? Head, tail. Sa Tagalog, ano yung tao at Bangko Sentral ba? Ayan, head or tail. Sa second coin, di ba? Coin pa na. Sa second coin, ano yung lalabas? Head. Or pwedeng tail. Head, tail. Sa third coin, ganun din. Head, tail, head, tail, head, tail, head, tail. Sa fourth, ganun din. Head, tail, head, tail. Basta tag-isa yun sila class. Head, tail. Yan. Head, tail. Kain na. Head, tail. Oh no. It messed up. Head, tail. Head, tail. Head, tail. Saka head, tail. O, kunin niyo yung mga combination. Ilan yan? Tignan niyo yung dulo class. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Dapat may 16 outcome. Okay? So, paano natin kukunin yan? Head, 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 head. Head, 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 tail. Head, head, tail, head. Head, head, tail, tail. Ililista niyo yun sa class isa-isa. So, outcomes muna. Outcome. Number of heads to head. So, kunin nyo na agad. So, we have yung outcomes muna. So, head, 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 head. Head, 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 tail. Head, head, tail, head. Ay, wait lang. Sorry, class. Nagdikit-dikit yung ano ko. Head, head, tail, head. Head, head, tail, tail. Ay, totoo. Head, head, tail, tail. Next, we have head, head, tail, head, 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 tail, head, tail, head, tail, tail, head, tail, tail, tail. And then we have tail, head, 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 tail, head, head, tail, tail, head, tail, head, tail, head, and tail, head, tail, tail. And then tail, tail, head, head. Nagme-mess up na yung 10 tablet ko, guys. Ayan. Tail, tail, head, tail, 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 head, tail, 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 tail. Ayan siya. 16 outcomes yan siya, class. Tandaan nyo how many outcomes? 16. Okay? So, ayun. Ngayon, class, ililista na natin muna kung ilan yung mga number of heads. Number of heads. So, ano yung mga possible number of heads? 0, 1, 2, 3, and 4. Tapos ililista natin kung ano-ano yon. Okay? Or pwede namang sulat nyo na lang yung number agad. So ano-ano nga ba yon? Bilangin natin. Ilan yung wala? Isa. Ilan pag isa lang? Yung, ay sorry, walang head to, di ba? Sunod yung isang head lang. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 lang. Ayan. Next, yung ano, yung walang or yung dalawang, sorry, dalawa pala. Yung dalawang head. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay? Sunod, yung tatlong head. 1, 2, 3, 4. Tapos, isang apat na head. Okay? So, ibig sabihin, ilan nga ulit yon? Ilang number of heads? Wala. Meron tayong 1 outcome. Pag isa, 4 na outcome. Pag dalawa, 6 na outcome. Pag tatlo, 4 na outcome. Pag 4, isang outcome. Now, we will create a probability distribution with that. Yung X natin is the number of heads. What are values of X's? Yung ating number of heads. So 0, 1, 2, 3, and 4. What is the probability? Yun na yung P of X. So out of 16 outcomes, sa 0, meron tayong 1 over 16. Sa walang heads yun meron tayong 1 over 16. Sa isang head, sa combination, meron tayong 4 outcomes. So that would be 4 over 16 or 1/4. Paki-lowest term. Or pwedeng decimal yung answer. So sa dalawa naman yung head, so we have 6 over 16 or 3 over 8. Sa tatlong heads, 4 din yung outcome. So that would be 4 over 16 or 1/4. Lastly, 1 lang sa 4 na heads. So this is the probability distribution of tossing 4 coins considering the number of heads. Kapag pinag-add natin to class lahat ng ng probability, the answer is 1. So, ayan siya. May question dito sa coins.
Wala po, sir.
Okay.
None po, sir.
None. Oh, sige. Last na to. Ayan. Create a discrete probability distribution of a spinner divided into 6 regions with letters K, A, L, K, A, M. Ito class yung maganda. Na na siya. Nakalista na siya agad kahit hindi na tayo mag-drawing. Basta alam natin na spinner divided into 6 regions, each letter has equal representation. So, pero kasi may mga nadoble. So ito yung letters. Ito yung ating variable. Variable X. Yung probability nila, ayan. So lista natin. K. Ilan ang K? Out of the 6 letters na binigay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, ilan yung K?
Dalawa po.
Dalawa. Out of 6 letters, so the probability, very good, yung probability na makukuha natin yung K is 1/3. Tama?
Yes, sir.
Yes. How about A? Alam ang probability natin na A ang makuha dun sa 6 na letters. So that would be 2 A out of 6 letters na meron tayo. So same, reduce natin to lowest term, that would be 1/3. Si L isa lang din. Si M isa lang din naman. So when we add these fractions, the answer would be 1. So this is the discrete probability distribution of the spinner divided to 6 regions with letters K, A, L, K, A, and M. Sa assessment class, pwede kong ilagay doon animals or students or colors. Minsan wala nang illustration, papadrawingin na lang kayo. Or pwede rin walang drawing kasi ito walang drawing pero nahanap natin ng probability distribution. Class, do you have lesson? Lesson. Do you have question? Lesson. Do you have question? May questions po?
For me po, nana, sir.
Oh, okay. How about the tawag dito? How about the lesson? Did you understand the lesson?
Yes po.
Sure,
Yes.
hi.
Yes po.
Oh, yeah, ang
Yes
dami
po.
yes.
Yes
Very
po.
good.
Yes
So,
po.
yun lang class, yung matitip ko sa inyo ay kasi last STEM kasi si Gen Math sa si Calculus ng STEM nagsabay. Ngayon, kayo na naman yung mamomblema. Kasi hindi niyo pa na-experience na magkaroon ng dalawang math. Sana hindi niyo mapag-interchange si business math and si statistics and probability. Ha? Kasi yung mga concepts natin medyo similar. Baka malito kayo. Okay? So, yun lang. So, sige, stop ko muna yung recording. Magayaw-yaw muna.